All right, welcome back, everybody. Here is part two of questions answered for the last month. We're kind of in February now, but it's okay. I'm going to try to bang this one out in one shot, okay, because there's a lot to go over, but we'll do it. Let's get right into it. So DM writes, any long-term medication that can be used for nightmare disorder? Well, nightmare disorder, it kind of depends on where it's coming from. If it's psychological, you may have to consult with a psychiatrist for that. But nightmares themselves, or people, having continuous nightmares or frequent nightmares, prazosin is sometimes used. But definitely talk to your doctor about that. Amit on my questions answered video from last month writes, "Thank you for your answers. You're welcome. I managed to stop the Zolpidem, which is Ambien, completely. Good job. Unfortunately, the feeling of sleepiness continues. The CPAP numbers are very good. I fall asleep very late and wake very late, sleeping 12 hours a day. Do you think that if I change my schedule to a normal one, it could improve this? Okay, what medications can cause excessive sleepiness? Yeah, I mean, your situation is very complicated, too much for kind of a video like this. What I would tell you and anybody is, if you're somebody who is getting enough hours of sleep, and you're using your CPAP machine, if you have sleep apnea, and you're still tired, there's one of a couple things going on here. One is it could be true hypersomnia, in which case a retest with an MSLT, which is a nap test, would be very, very useful, okay, to objectively see that. The other possibility could be depression. Okay, depression, medications, they can make you very sleepy, and like I said, it's too hard to answer that in one little video like this, so definitely talk to your doctor, bring those up. Okay. Thank you for your questions. On my trazodone video, Glenn writes, I have central sleep apnea and been taking trazodone to help me get to sleep while adjusting to my new BiPAP. Great thing. Trazodone is not going to help with sleep apnea per se, but it can relax you enough to allow you to use the treatments for sleep apnea, such as BiPAP. Well, I'm still having sleep apnea issues. The drug has helped. Thanks for this helpful information. Good job, Glenn. All right, I'm glad it's helping you. On Remembering Our Dreams, Karina writes, is Pristiq or Celexa one of the antidepressants that cause your REM sleep to be interrupted? They can be. Any medication that works on the serotonin system, which both of those do, can have that effect. I have very vivid dreams every night. I'm getting off Pristiq instead of my CPAP. Very interested to see how sleep changes. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that it improves. Let us know how you do. In my sleep and mental health and new parents, Ryan writes, we have a baby not quite a year ago. Congratulations. In the middle of my diagnostic process for my sleep issues. I was hoping to have my sleep sorted out beforehand. I was so used to unconsciously waking up all night. Now I know the UARS, all newborn awakenings, have zero impact on how I feel throughout the day. Knuckles gonna be on bed with the baby. Yeah, well, I don't think this was a question, but yeah, Ryan. I mean, it's what I always say is, if there's any sleep disorder, you want to take care of it, regardless of the timing, right? Whether it's in the middle of having a child, or after your child is born, or before a child. I think it's important, no matter what you're doing, is to take care of yourself. So I'm glad that you got diagnosed with UARS and got it taken care of. But it sounds like you guys figured it out, so good job. And then lastly, Judy the Loopy writes, on my temazepam or Restoril video, been taking it almost every day. Now, to recall, temazepam is what's called a benzodiazepine, okay, which is similar to medications like Klonopin and Xanax and things of that nature, which they are technically anxiety medications. Now, temazepam is approved for use for sleep, for insomnia, but what I always tell my patients is, I think there are safer things out there long term. Now, there are cases where you definitely need benzodiazepines, like Restoril. You need them for sleep. In some cases, but sometimes it may just be kind of a Band-Aid, and if there's underlying anxiety or underlying depression, you may want to get those looked into. And frankly, there are safer medications, I think, longer term. But maybe those have been tried. Maybe you've tried other things like trazodone, for example, and didn't work. So your doctor put you on temazepam. I don't know the story, but what I would tell you is this: is you always want to temper whatever we're doing for sleep against potential negative long term, like Klonopin, Xanax, temazepam. These can be addictive, right? But what's worse, to have a risk for addiction or to not sleep at all? It's probably better to have the former. So, but that's for you and your doctor to decide. So, good questions, good comments. Unfortunately, some of these are a little bit too specific for me to be able to really give, meaningful answers to. But thank you anyway, and keep them coming. Like I said, once a month I will do this, so keep the questions and comments coming. My new book, Story of Sleep from A to Z. This is kind of like a compendium or a very easy to read, kind of short entry, almost like a dictionary of sleep and sleep disorders. You can find that on Amazon. My first book, Let's Talk About Sleep, also on Amazon. And I didn't say this before, but I'm going to say it now. These videos are for education only. And until next time, everybody, sleep well.